Hey, I'm glad you're back. In this lesson, we're gonna discuss one thing, and it's gonna be a pretty short lesson, but this is just gonna cover some basic things within the tracks, buttons, recording button, solo button, menu, mute button, and we're just gonna talk about that. Anyway, remember, this lesson is part of a mini-series called Pro Tools in 15 minutes, and each video is less than 3 minutes long, so it's nothing. You can learn a lot from it. So go and check it out and let me know what you think. Thanks.
Okay, so welcome. In this lesson, we're gonna learn about buttons. I promise you that this lesson is not gonna be so long. Basically, we're gonna be talking about buttons. And why am I touching this topic? Because I feel some people really don't understand what these buttons do. So I just want to clarify and just make sure you know what the buttons do. Everybody knows these buttons here: stop, play, record. Pretty simple, pretty basic. But then within the tracks, we have other buttons. We have the M, the S, the I, and then another record button. So what do they do? Well, pretty simple. Basically, the M button stands for mute. And mute is basically telling Pro Tools, don't play that track. I don't want to hear that track. Mute that track, silence it. Play everything else, just don't play that track. Pretty simple. S stands for solo. If you enable the solo button, basically you're telling Pro Tools, mute everything else and just play that track. Because I like that track. So just mute everything else and play that track. Now, you can solo multiple tracks and then you'll be focusing just on those tracks. Everything else will be muted. And then the I button, if you enable the I button, basically it's just gonna monitor the live input of the track. It's gonna ignore if the track is in record or play mode. It's just gonna input the live input. That's what it's gonna do. And then the next one is the record enabled track. So this one gets tricky if you're pretty new with Pro Tools, because the big button here, the record enable button, is basically the master record enable. You can't record if you don't have record enable. It's not gonna record anything, even when that track right here is record enable. The record button here in this corner, it's the master record enable button. So once you enable that, you're telling Pro Tools, okay, Pro Tools, be ready because I'm about to record. So then you go to your track and you tell Pro Tools, okay, I want you to record this track. So that's whenever you click this track and this track, record enable track. Now Pro Tools is ready to record. So now that you're ready to record, you click play and you should be ready to go and record. Anyway, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be glad to answer, and I'll be posting recap notes in the bottom. So anyway, I hope you learned something. Thanks.